Hey guys, so one of you asked if you could see my cat, and I thought I showed him to you in other videos, but my editing queue is kind of weird. So, this is Bowie. He's the one you hear in the background all the time. He's 7 years old. He's kind of a butt. He's super spoiled. So it was suggested to me that I talk about all the ways that having a cat has affected my life as an artist, and sure, why not? So I have always been a cat person. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm like a cat lady. I don't own a bunch of cat stuff. I don't want to own a bunch of cat stuff. I don't have cat costumes. My cat is not a person. I do talk to him, but I mean, he's a sentient living creature, and you know, he enjoys being talked to, and he deserves to be acknowledged, right? But I would not identify as a cat lady. But I mean, I've had cats of varying degrees, I guess, since I was 12. So it just always seemed like the logical choice as a companion animal for me. I'm somebody who needs companionship. I get lonely. And cats, I love dogs, but cats are lower maintenance than dogs. Well, maybe not Bo, but in general, they're lower maintenance, and they can kind of entertain themselves. So, right, a cat. And I got Bowie right before I went to grad school. So he came with me to Savannah, and it was me and him in that apartment. And he got really destructive because at the time I was so busy with grad school, and he was still kind of a young cat. He was only 2. He would just tear everything up. He ruined a lot of my stuff. He peed on a lot of my artwork. His territory in my studio, or in my apartment at the time, was increasingly small because he wasn't allowed in my bedroom because he'd pee on things in there. He wasn't allowed in my studio because he peed on things in there. So he pretty much had the bathroom, it was a sizable bathroom with his litter box. That was pretty much just his room because it was a 2-bathroom apartment. The kitchen, the laundry room, and the den and the dining room, they were all his, and there was a covered patio, so I would leave the door open for him to go out on there. Hey, you want to come sit on my lap? But I didn't give him the attention he deserved to have, because I'd had female cats in the past, and all of my female cats were pretty content to just like hang out on me, and that was enough, whereas Bowie actively wanted to be played with. So he was incredibly destructive at that period of time. And then I finished grad school and I moved to...
Please try again.
Sorry, that was my watch talking to me. I moved to Nashville, and my life sort of settled down, and I was working from home a lot. So our relationships improved a lot. I don't have a covered patio here. I can actually... No, I cannot. Let's try it like this. I do have a patio and a little bit of a yard, as you guys can see. See if I can show Bowie without falling over. There's Bo. So he likes being out in the yard. He likes to eat the grass, likes to look at the birds. Not much else. Looks like he's about to head back up the stairs, which means he wants to come in. So our relationship here improved a lot. While I was in Savannah, I got to the point where I was taking him out on walks on a leash, like one of those little retractable dog leashes, and a puppy halter, like one of the foam padded ones, so it doesn't like kind of bite into his body, or you know what I mean? Like, I wanted him to be comfortable. So he's really good about going for walks on a leash, but we don't have a lot of like green areas really close within like easy walking distance of where I live, and he's not so good with going on walks on sidewalk. Well, there isn't even any sidewalk in the neighborhood I live in. Does not really like walking on the road, and who can blame him, right? And the cars really spook him, and people walking their dogs kind of spook him. So me taking him for a walk here in Nashville is more me holding him, which he really likes. Like, he's super chill about that for 4 blocks. And I got one of those astronaut cat bags, the ones with the bubble, and he doesn't like that thing at all, and he's figured out how to push the bubble out, so that's not gonna work. So we're still figuring out the walk situation, but he has a yard, and he is much less destructive here. I live in a 2-story apartment with 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. It's a really small bathroom. So there's a litter box. There are 2 litter boxes for him downstairs, And he's allowed in the studio now if I'm in there. I do shut him out at night. He doesn't like that. But there's plenty of places for him to sleep downstairs, including a giant Papazon chair, which he's decided is his cat bed. I keep bobbing up and down because he's right under my chair and I'm petting him. So when he's in the studio with me during the day, for the most part, he just likes to hang out. So in the morning when I'm working on YouTube videos or working on the blog or answering emails, that kind of stuff, he usually like forces his way into my lap and like shoves the keyboard aside. Actually, let me try something. Putting down the legs on this thing. That's a little bit better. All right. So, you know, in the morning, we usually hang out where he's like flopped over, super duper relaxed, and I'm in my chair working, and I'm like petting his head and petting his stomach. And then the evenings, he likes to like just lay on the floor, and when it's late, he basically tries to stick his little head in my GPU, which is underneath my drafting table. And so some of the side effects of having cat in your studio, even though he's not a long hair cat or anything, is there's cat hair in everything. Cat hair in my paints, cat hair on my papers, cat hair in some of my originals. So there's always cat hair everywhere, unfortunately. Let's see. Walks all over everything, so that's something you have to be careful about. If you're like me and you enjoy painting on the floor because you need the space, you got to pick those watercolors up because your cat will try to drink. I have not met an inside cat who, if given the chance to drink watercolor water, won't try to drink it. I don't know why, because you could give them, I thought, oh, he's thirsty, so I'd like put a bowl of water up here. No, who wants the color water? And you don't want to let them drink that because it's full of toxic chemicals and heavy metals and just things that a cat shouldn't be drinking. So please don't let them drink your watercolor water. I even named this year's 2 sketchbooks. The black and white one is Let Sleeping Cats Lie, and the color one is Or They'll Drink Your Watercolor Water, because of Bo. So yeah, that's Bowie, and for the most part that's how he's impacted. Oh, so when I go out of town, I have to have somebody come check in on him. He doesn't get, I mean, I've kind of mitigated the things he can damage. He is still destructive, but not to the point that he used to be. And if I'm going to be out of town, I have to shut him out of the studio unless someone is going to be in there with him to make sure he doesn't ruin things, because he likes to pee and poop in one of the corners. Awesome, right? And I know that Jackson Galaxy says, like, in the room you hang out the most, you should put a litter box. Unfortunately, my studio is a tiny little bedroom, and there's not really any room for a litter box in there, and the bathroom's small. The connected bathroom's really small too, so there's no room in there either. But you know, still working on that. Might happen someday. So that's basically it. That's Bowie. He's my studio cat, my bud. He gets involved in everything. He gets in the way all the time. Go out and give your cat a hug for me, and have a great day, guys. Bye.